Okay, so this is Tuesday, November 20th, 2020. And it's around 3:40 in the afternoon in my beautiful, peaceful fairy tale neighborhood in Oregon. And I'm going for an afternoon walk all by myself to get out and get some fresh air and exercise, because I can only sit on my butt and watch the news for so long before I get tired of listening to crazy people. So, it's a nice day out, isn't it? Are you guys working on this house? This house? It's good to see people still able to work during the pandemic. I'm not.
Yeah, we haven't been shut down the whole time.
Well,
Kind of crazy.
it is. It is. But I am able to work. I just don't get paid for it. Isn't that fun?
What do you do?
I'm a writer,
Oh, okay.
and people don't pay for poetry anymore like they used to. I'm also a tile setter, and I don't like setting tile. I'm burnt out on it after renovating a house down the street. I'm also a minister, and people don't pay ministers. And I'm in debt, and I don't know how I'm going to pay back my debt.
Our firm is always higher.
No, thank you.
I don't blame you. Well,
No, thank you.
For a receptionist.
No, thank you. I like to write poetry and assassination plans,
Yeah, hey, me and you both.
which I am planning on publishing, which is either stupid or brave. But nobody dies in my assassination plans. That's brilliant.
There you go.
They just have to spend a night in my uncle's outhouse after eating my assassination brownies that are all organic and they won't kill anyone. They have a special ingredient. Zucchini. Oregon grown, it's an organic zucchini. And
I was thinking a different kind of special.
yeah, and a little bit of cannabis because it's legal over here. And it also has some sterilized shit capsules. You can buy those online. And they're supposed to be good for you. And then it's a good thing I didn't die from a bowel obstruction right before Trump came into office and I had to go to the bathroom. It's all organic, it won't kill anyone. Right? And then after eating those brownies, he's stuck in my uncle's outhouse and not given any toilet paper, maybe a corn cob and a dirty magazine full of Melania and one of my friends who thinks he's handsome. And then we just talk about filling the outhouse up with hobos and hobo spiders. And we fire up chainsaws and talk about making chili. But we don't touch them. We just let us sweat it out like a sweat lodge. And then we take everybody down to Blair Alley on a Friday night and dance all night to Church of the 80s.
The 80s.
Yep, and we can invite everyone else in the whole wide world along with some camera crews. We can invite Putin and Young and his BFF, Dennis Rodman, and Madonna and have a reunion and resurrect Prince. And then after we dance all night, I'm the first one that gets to knock on the door and say, "Are you ready to come out and share gold toilets?" And if he says yes, I get to tickle his figs and smack him on the butt and tell him to grow up, and then I give him a pee test and he can't pass it, rendering him unfit for office. And then we just talk about infiltrating the White House with Rick Simpson oil, the whole world's water supply system. And then we put a sign on his back that says, "I'm sorry, I'm Trump, I'll share my gold toilets to go back in the outhouse." And we safely escort him out of Oregon after we explain to him the Oregon roadkill laws. It's legal to scoop up roadkill and take it home and eat it. And I personally know people who aren't opposed to cannibalism. They lived in my house for 8 months. And they're still in our community, as is the woman in my theater group. She also isn't opposed to cannibalism. She was once a veteran of the United States. And she didn't like Trump.
I like Trump.
She said, you do like him? Okay, that's fine. Everybody, that's why we live in America. My partner voted for Trump, so I have to. MAGA men love me. I don't know why. They make beelines for me, and then they usually get me kicked out of bars. That happened to me at Cornucopia. I was going to do stand-up comedy, and some MAGA man latched himself onto me and walked into the bar and started a big old rant, political rant. And so I was told to take him back out, and I pushed him down the street and told him to go home. And then I get guilty by association, and I get kicked out.
That's how it always works.
So, anyways, I have a YouTube video up called Mad Voter's Guide to 2016. I kind of predicted some of this stuff, and I'm sorry. I did a write-in vote, and I wrote in the Antichrist because I thought it was a 2-for-1 vote. They were both so evil I couldn't make up my mind between Trump and Clinton. So I did the Antichrist, and now look what happened. Damn, there's plagues. History teachers are getting their heads chopped off in France. I am so sorry. I did not mean to piss off God. Damn, now I'm going to have to rewrite the Bible and fix it and turn God into a goddess.
You better get on it.
I have. Oh, no, I have. I've got it already. Yeah, that's what I do for a living. I've got Trump in heaven right now in a padded room. It's all fluffy clouds, and he doesn't have a body part because once he gets to heaven, he doesn't have to have sex anymore. It's been reattached to his forehead. That's what happened to the unicorns. Have a good day. Yeah, well, there I have it. I told those 3 young men some of my jokes. Hey there! Hey there! Oh, you're so cute! You're so cute! Anyways. It was a beautiful, peaceful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day out. Isn't it nice out? Oh. She has earplugs in so she can't hear anything. I hope she doesn't get hit by anything. Or if she hears someone screaming or whatever, I don't know. Anyways, so, yes, it's just peaceful. A beautiful, peaceful neighborhood. The sun's out. I'm out. Stirring up a little shit. Nicely, peacefully, because that's what we get to do over here in America. We get to have differences of opinions. Oh, hi! I love your sign.
Thank you.
In fact, your whole house is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was making a video.
Go buy. Okay.
Yep, I already have my ballot down there with.
Me too. I dropped mine off today.
Yeah, I plan on doing mine later. I'm still debating on 110.
That one was a hard one.
Me too. It's not. I haven't gone either way on it yet. I know too many people have died from drug overdoses,
I know.
and so
It sounds really good. Taking the money away from other programs is difficult. It's really hard.
yeah.
It's a hard one. I don't think I care.
Well, then I was reading about, is it Sweden or a European country that they've had success in legalizing drugs and not making it a crime, but aiming more towards recovery and
Right.
helping people get.
I've always
Yeah.
thought that was a good way to go. But
Yeah, the problem with America is, as an example, in the beginning of 2019, I was minding my own business, and I asked my friend to walk me to my car across the street from where my theater group meet every Thursday night. It was right before a performance with the First Friday Art Walk, No Shame Theater, and I asked my friend to walk me across the street to keep me safe. We were standing there talking by my car, and a woman strung out on drugs came around the corner, and she was angry, looking for someone to F up. And she picked me. She tackled me I tried to separate myself, and we were trying to call cahoots. And I made a mistake of turning my back on her to walk across the street back to where there was normal people. And she saw the movement and rushed me and jumped me. My friend, and she's hitting on me. My friend pulls her off, but he doesn't want to hurt her. And she breaks free and rushes at me again and knocks me off my feet to the middle of the street and was pounding my head into the pavement. That's terrifying to ever have. That's the first time I've ever been violently attacked like that, living in Lane County my whole life. And people called 911. Bartender came out and the bouncer, whatever, they all rescued me. Thank goodness there was people around and she didn't have a weapon on her. And I was able to get into safety and keep myself from passing out. And drink some water, put my head between my legs and did all the right things. Checked out by the paramedics. I ended up with a black eye and a hurt jaw. But that woman only spent 4 days in jail. And then she told the judge she was heading to Portland. And I've heard the violence in Portland is on the rise, and I believe it.
She should have been in treatment.
Yeah, no, just let loose. But it was my choice to even decide to press charges or not. And so I thought, well, if I don't, she's left loose on the streets. That's not.
Oh, that's scary.
And it was scary because I thought, well, then if I do, she could later hunt me down. If she's
Right.
in her messed up mind has something against me.
Right.
I even tried to give her a hug at one point when she said she didn't know where she was and she was from Denver. And I have 8 children, so my mommy's heart was like, oh my gosh, and you don't know where you are. What has happened to you?
So it was a young girl?
It was a younger woman. Beautiful too. She showed up in court in a slinky dress with high heels. If I was running a dating service, I'd match her up with Mike Tyson.
Oh my God.
I got up the next night and did comedy about the whole thing. It's called With Love from Denver. I know she loves me. She just wanted to pound it into my head.
That's terrifying. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, well, I survived, so that's good. And I hope we get that man out of office because he reminds me of my ex-husband who raped me. So I got my own personal Trump trauma.
We're all traumatized by that.
Yeah, but he's got the same mannerism and says the same thing, same narcissism out I too will accept the results if I win kind of. Anyways, enjoy your grandkids or have a good day. Thanks for talking. That was a pleasant woman. Yeah. I have nice neighbors. I didn't videotape her because some people don't like to be videotaped. But nice woman. She's in there with her little grandkids. A Biden supporter. That's good to know. Balanced out the Trump supporter I just met. It's a beautiful fall day, and I'm looking at houses that some need to be, touched up and fixed, and some don't. I live in an area with a lot of vintage houses, which is nice. And for the most part, I believe my neighborhood is safe, except for a few crazies. That wander through here once in a while. There's some crazy people that are on drugs or something who wander through the area. Usually it's mostly at night though. That's when the crazies come out. Usually it's at night. I saw one guy the other night. I was on a walk and minding my own business, and I saw a guy who had his shirt off and he was yelling at a gas pump at an empty gas station at night. He's upset at this gas pump. And I was keeping my distance because I don't trust people when they're strung out on drugs. I usually don't trust people even when they're not. But anyways, so he started kind of weaving and wandering his way towards me, and I booked it across the street. And then he started wandering into the cross street, which was a pretty busy street, and I thought at first I was going to see him get hit because he was not even in the crosswalk. He just wandered into the middle of this intersection thing. But the light turned red just in time as the car was coming up. But I saw this car coming down the street, and I saw him wandering into the street, and I'm like, oh, this isn't looking good. But he didn't get hit, and I slowed my walking down so he could continue to move ahead of me, and I continued to keep my distance because he was continuing to rant and rave at the entire world. So barring those once in a while crazy people that I have ran into in my lifetime, I think I usually run into a crazy person on average about once a day if I leave my house. Otherwise, dangerous crazy people on average that have directly impacted me. I've had a handful of that. And sometimes they're not even trying to hurt me. They're going after someone that I happen to be standing right next to or sitting right next to. That's happened. And it's an adrenaline rush of a shock because it's like, what the fuck? And if people don't understand how that can give innocent bystanders PTSD, it can. Because if someone happens to pull out a gun or a knife or starts slinging even fists and stuff, people nearby can get hurt. And it traumatizes the people in the environment who are trying to stay safe and keep everyone safe. Now, I was married to an abusive man for 20 years, and his abuse was progressively getting worse. And I could not stand up against him because it would make the situation worse. And so I learned to shut up and keep my head down and lower my eyes when I was in public and not look at other people and focus on him and my kids and wait on him hand and foot. Because if I even looked up in public and talked to anyone, I would get in trouble later. I would get, especially if it was a man. If I talked to men, that was a no-no. No. You did not talk to other men with the man I was married to. Very possessive, very narcissistic, very oppressive. So these days I can identify better with people who have lived in third world countries, who have been trained to walk 30 paces behind their husband, and who wear burqas and cover up the fact that, they have any female body parts, because men oftentimes can't control their dicks or their dick issues or their pride or their sense of honor. Some men will kill if they don't get what they want, or they don't. This tree here is dropping hard walnut type balls, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful tree. But it's almost like one of those trees of walk under at your own risk, because you could get hit in the head by a walnut if you're not careful. Anyways, so I'm thankful I don't live in a country that is locked into the Middle Ages. No, I live in a country that is locked in many ages. Some of the people I know are locked into the 60s, or they're locked into the 40s. They're bringing back styles from the 30s. And some people I know are locked into living and dressing as if they lived in the pioneer days. And some people I know are multi-talented, and they change their outfits quite often. They can switch from walking around in a monkey suit to walking around in a shirt and tie, which is just another form of a monkey suit. These days, I walk around in whatever fuck I want again on any given day. Today, I'm just wearing sandals and sweatpants and a t-shirt that I got from donating a poem to a book called Squid Limericks. So one of my poems got published. Another one of my poems. It was a small, short little limerick about mermaids and squids and copulating. Feels good to have some talent that other people don't have, and some confidence that other people don't have. It feels good to be me today. Not every day. It doesn't always feel good to be me, but today, right now, it feels good to be me. In fact, I love being me because I'm alive and got a few things figured out at my age. Finally,